Welcome to another episode of Molo Consulting. Now, in this episode, I want to talk about the numbers in a business. Like they say, is the score that counts. Now, basically, just about understanding the financial statement of a business. Now, I want us to really understand where exactly the financials of a business come in terms of a business. Now, think for a moment about any sport or a game that you adore, say soccer, rugby, or cricket, and think what if it was play without the score being kept? Just think for a moment. Will we enjoy the fans? Will they have the same thrill as they have now, or the competitive edge they have now that excite us? I like soccer personally, in my case, and more than anything, enjoy the best playing attacking team. But however, if they play beautiful football without winning, it means nothing, no matter how fun. It's the score that counts at the end. I remember an Orlando Pirates team of some few years back. They used to call it Happy People. You know that it played brilliantly, but they just didn't win anything. Now, in sports, coaches or managers get fired all the time just for one reason: the numbers not making sense. Now, some of the coaches are adored by their fans. However, the owners have to make a tough and a sad decision at times to part with them just for one reason: the numbers are just not adding up. Now, the team is losing, and there's a fear that the team could be relegated to a lower divisions, which will hurt its finances and reputations. Now, what even Sims and fans said, some of those best coaches are fired having assisted their team to win their league or cups just the previous year. But yet, when the numbers are not adding up, you know, they get fired. Now, if you understand this picture above about keeping the score, it's exactly how running a business is like. You have to prepare the financial statement to be able to know the health of the business at all times. Is the business winning or losing? A serious decision needs to be made based on the financial statements, which is basically the score. Is it based on it is basically based on this that the board likewise fire CEO of companies because the financial statements are not adding up. The turnover is low, the business is not profitable, basically it's not winning. Not only a new CEO should come to take over, but should the business even continue operating or closed or even be sold? Those are some of the decisions that has to be made. Now, the financial statement consists of income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement, which I'll explain in other episodes. Some more. You know, now as in soccer game nowadays, there are statistics to measure everything in the game: corner kicks, possession, red cards or yellow cards or goals or assist. I mean, these days there's such a huge emphasis on assist, not just who score the goal. Now, there's even an analysis of each player's performance per game. This analysis is especially used when teams have to buy or sell players or determine who should be in the starting lineup. Now, sport is not just a game, but a huge business, and a lot of money are invested in it. It's the same with your startup or your business. You cannot leave it to chance, but you have to analyze every aspect that will help you to sustain and grow your business. Ultimately, what you don't measure, you know, you will not know early, and it might lead to killing your business. So it's better to know exactly at the beginning what's actually the problem. It's more like a doctor picking up cancer in the early stages. It's your best bet to survive cancer. Not only do you need to check your financials annually, but monthly, weekly, and daily reports, as the numbers don't lie. They expose the facts. If there are no sales in the business, it will soon suffer. And yet, even if the sales invoice have been generated, but payments is not yet done by the clients and money is not yet in the bank, the business will starve and collapse due to cash flow crisis. And if the business has a lot of machinery, inventory, property, plant or equipment, but not generating enough sales, cash, it will not survive. Basically, it's overcapitalized. Now, that's basically roughly the cash flow. Now, the income statement measure the profit and loss of a business. Cash flow, well, cash flow, like I just said, measure if the business has money in the bank. The balance sheet measure the value of the business at a particular point in time. This take into account everything in a business, e.g., profit, cash flow, equity, asset, and liability. Therefore, a set of financial statement will therefore cover everything and are prepared annual. Also, a business will often prepare financial on a monthly basis, which is called monthly management accounts, as the business can't wait for the end of the financial year to know its health. A good accountant will his main task is to constantly prepare your books to produce, the financials and advise you further. Now, this is basically a brief about the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow, which is basically all together forms the financial statement. Now, in another episode, I'll break them down, each of them, to explain them, thoroughly. So thanks for this episode. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email on info@moloconsulting.com. I repeat, info@moloconsulting.com. Thank you.